Today I'll be talking about, do you have to delete your old self in a new relationship? We call it a tabula rasa myth. A man or woman meets their soulmate, discards their old style of dressing, hobbies, and even changes their worldview to conform to the image of their ideal match. It's called a fresh start. Sounds appealing? Like a game console reset button. When we enter a new relationship, there is a subconscious pressure to be the best version of ourselves. But often, that translates into being the most agreeable version. We start sanitizing our history. We stop talking about the passions that might seem weird to our new partner. We bury the baggage, the quirks, and the scars because we're afraid they'll scare away this new potential. But here's the truth. When you delete your old self, you aren't offering your partner a person. You're offering them a statue, a polished, silent, non-threatening representation of what you think they want. Relationships built on performances don't last, because eventually the actor gets tired. What if I tell you today that this concept might actually be toxic? Today, we're going to analyze the idea that to become worthy of a relationship, one needs to erase their old self completely. How many times have you found yourself thinking, am I supposed to become a different person to succeed in a relationship? Or maybe you've heard, you need to leave your old self behind. Relationships involve sacrifice. You need to change if you wish to receive love. While it's true that we must all evolve, growing isn't the same as dying out. There is usually pressure to become a new version of you. Whenever entering a relationship, there is an implicit assumption that you need to present yourself as the best version. Most people interpret it as the most agreeable version. Yet along the way, instead of just growing, you start changing who you are to stay in the relationship. You may begin avoiding things you used to love, avoiding people you used to hang out with, avoiding showing who you truly are, hiding your emotions, and suppressing your needs. Healthy relationships definitely require change, and no successful relationship involves people who aren't growing. However, growing isn't the same as dying out. Growing involves developing a higher level of awareness of your emotional world, improving your communication skills, learning better behaviors, developing your emotional maturity, becoming your best version. Dying out means sacrificing yourself, neglecting your own needs, giving up your values, and losing yourself in the process. Healthy relationships allow us to become the better version of ourselves. But sometimes it feels as if unhealthy relationships require our self-destruction. Reasons why we lose ourselves in our relationships. Here are some of the main reasons why people often lose themselves when entering a relationship. Fear of rejection. Some people are convinced that if I show myself as I am, my chances of getting loved are minimal. Therefore, they start changing themselves according to what they think their partner expects from them. Fear of conflicts. Some individuals don't like arguing and prefer peace at any price. As a result, they may avoid showing what they think, how they feel, or what they wish to happen to them. Low self-worth. Sometimes, people whose sense of self is low measure themselves by their relationship. Their identity is determined by their partner's expectations, validations, or criticisms. Previous relationship experiences. People who were rejected, betrayed, or abandoned tend to be highly devoted to their relationships. As a consequence, they'll give anything to save them, even if it means destroying themselves. Here is a case study called Mary's Experience. Mary was in a relationship with a person she adored immensely. Everything seemed perfect in the beginning. Slowly, however, she began making little adjustments to herself. She didn't go to places that she enjoyed anymore, spending less and less time with her friends. avoiding stating her opinion for fear of causing an argument, dressing up differently, and doing anything that would please her partner. After years passed, Jennifer realized an important thing. Though her relationship wasn't forcing her to disappear, she gradually abandoned herself for fear of losing it. Once she started building her confidence again and rediscovering her true self, Mary noticed something unusual. Her relationship improved dramatically as she became much more authentic, much more sure of herself, and much more open to emotions. Her partner felt more connected to the very person he fell in love with in the beginning. Things relationships require. Healthy relationships don't require us to become someone else. Instead, they require us to be self-aware, know who we are, be flexible, learn and grow, create strong boundaries, defend your own emotional safety, show your true identity, be authentic and truthful. Develop your emotional intelligence, communicate better. The idea is not to become a stranger to yourselves. The idea is to become healthier and happier versions of yourselves. What to ask yourself about your relationship. When discussing this topic, here are some important things to ask yourself. Are you the same person outside your relationship? Concealing essential features of yourself, losing your identity and sense of self-worth, feeling safe enough to state your opinion, becoming stronger or weaker? These questions will reveal whether your relationship is helping you become stronger or is it destroying yourself. Healthy relationships shouldn't make you erase yourself. They must help you grow into a better version of yourself. How to integrate, not delete. So, how do we balance the excitement of a new relationship with the reality of our full selves? 1. Audit the sanitization. Look at the things you've stopped mentioning since you started seeing this person. Why did you stop? Was it because of external pressure or internal shame? 2. Date with your history. Don't be afraid to bring up your old self stories. I never had a relationship for more than 3 months, or I once lived in a van for 3 months. See how they react. A secure partner will be fascinated by your history, not intimidated by it. 3. Prioritize continuity. You should feel like the same you when you're with your partner as you do when you're hanging out with your oldest friends. If there's a massive gap between those two versions, you're playing a role, because healthy love shouldn't require you to die out. The right relationship won't force you to change yourself. It will simply allow you to become more yourself than ever before. Healthy relationships shouldn't make us lose ourselves. They must help us grow without having to sacrifice anything. Thank you for watching. If this video has resonated with you, make sure to subscribe for more videos about relationships, mental health, and emotional well-being, and to pre-order my soon-to-be published book. Don't forget to share my channel with a friend. Remember, sharing is caring.